One thing I can tell you for sure, SCOAN, the entire SCOAN administration, the synagogue shrine of all nations, is in a panic state as we speak. They are desperately looking for a solution or a way to recover from the damage that was caused by the BBC documentary. One thing we can all agree on, what BBC documentary did to SCOAN, that was a massive blow below the belt. Recovering from this catastrophe, it's not going to be easy. But then on the flip side, this might be a golden opportunity for SCOAN. This might be the greatest opportunity that has ever been presented to Evelyn and the remaining SCOAN administrators. It might look as an offense that came from the BBC, but I see an opportunity for them to reclaim their legacy, TB Joshua's legacy. And it can only be done through one way. They have to prove that Ajoke is not TB Joshua's biological daughter. That's the only card that SCOAN can play right now, to throw BBC under the water, to make the entire documentary null and void. If they can prove that Ajoke is not TB Joshua's biological daughter, all the other testimonies that were given in that documentary will be rendered useless. No one will care. That's the only card that they have. But how do they prove it? They have to do the DNA test. They have to submit the remaining 3 children, as they claim, for a DNA test together with Ajoke, so that we can see if there is any relationship between the 3 daughters and Ajoke, so that we can see if there are any samples of TB Joshua's DNA in these 4 children. If they are confident that Ajoke, if they are 100% confident that TB Joshua has nothing to do with Ajoke, this is the only card they should play. But the question is, would they budge? Or are they sincere in their defense that Ajoke is not TB Joshua's daughter, biological daughter? Or they are just throwing it as a narrative to distract all the other testimonies that were given in that BBC documentary? If you can actually do an audit of all the defense that came from SCOAN, it's all centered on Ajoke. That's the only card that they have been putting emphasis on. I do not know what this child did. She was only a little baby. She did not choose to land in TB Joshua's hands. She did not choose to be born. She was not there when TB Joshua made moves on this young lady that ended up giving birth to her. So I do not know why she is suffering at the hands of other Nigerian witch doctors who are coming out calling her names. I've been watching so many women calling this young lady names. What crime did she commit? She is a victim of circumstances. If for all, the only thing she deserves is peace of mind and support, in all of these big charlatans, your Jeremiah Omotos, they are pumping their chest for Ajoke, a small Pekin. Yet we have people like us. I'm not even in Jeremiah Omoto's league. Jeremiah, he has to go for smaller dogs. He's a small baby when it comes to people like us. He must pick someone of his size. Why Ajoke? Like I was saying, this is a win-win for both BBC and for SCOAN. SCOAN just has to prove that Ajoke is not TB Joshua's biological daughter. And BBC also, because the entire credibility of their documentary is also centered on Ajoke. If they can also prove, if they can make efforts, engage international humanitarian lawyers to pursue this case so that DNA tests can be conducted, if it can be proven on the BBC side that Ajoke is indeed 100% TB Joshua's biological daughter, then that documentary will take the medallion. It will become one of their biggest achievements in their entire history of documentaries. Same applies on the side of SCOAN. If they can also prove that Ajoke has nothing to do with TB Joshua, then the entire documentary is clashed. Then the entire documentary rendered useless. So the question now is, will BBC pursue this case and demand justice for Ajoke? Or will synagogue pursue this case as well to distance SCOAN and TB Joshua from being the biological father of Ajoke. Either parties must collaborate so that the truth will come out, even though there's something big to lose at the end of each part if the results are not in their favor. If the results are not in the favor of Synagogue, Shrine of All Nations, it's going to be bad, like real bad. And if the results are not in the favor of BBC, the entire documentary will become a waste. The 2-3 years of investigation will become a complete waste. So are they both willing to take the risk? Because at the end of the day, the child has to be protected. If Ajoke is indeed TB Joshua's biological daughter, as they claim that TB Joshua is dead, she is entitled to part of TB Joshua's inheritance, a big chunk of it. Her life will change overnight. But if she's not, then the legacy of the native doctor will be restored. We must beam more light on making sure that Ajoke is okay, well taken care of, is safe. It might be all good and interesting to talk about the case, but let's not forget the victim. She deserves justice. She deserves closure. She also needs to know where she stands. She also needs a confirmation that is she really TB Joshua's biological daughter, or she was really adopted? And if Ajoke's mother, you're out there, please come out now. You might have all the answers that we are looking for. If you're still alive, or if anyone knows Ajoke's mom, please, we beg you to come out and rescue this little child. She has gone through a lot already. She has suffered already in the hands of TB Joshua. And she continues to suffer today from pulpit bandits like Jeremiah Omoto Fofane. She continues to suffer today from trolls all over the comments, all over the internet, calling her names. From the wise men, calling her different names. Yet she did not choose to be this way. If you know Ajoke's mom, if you're out there, present yourself and save the little babe. So tell me what you think, my people. Will SCOAN badge for the DNA test? Will BBC pursue Ajoke's DNA test to be conducted so that we can all know what Ajoke is entitled to, or if she was really adopted? Tell me what you think in the comments. It's Mr. PDT.